At number 2, I have Sneako, and if you've ever seen Sneako's videos, you realize that they're kind of addicting. Once you start watching them, it's kind of hard to stop. He's so straightforward with things, and he's not biased on anything. He'll let you know anything that's on his mind.
5 YouTubers I think will be famous. May 31, 2014. Well, MrBeast, you were right in that regard of Sneako becoming famous. It just wasn't to the positive light that you probably thought that it was gonna be. Oh, and just as a little bonus for some of you that might not know, Sneako, before he became the controversial figure that he is now, he actually was in a MrBeast video back in 2018. All wholesome and everything in it.
We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky. Little Einstein.
So with that Sneako being seen in a better light back then, it seemed like the KSI also could have had high hopes for him, as when July of 2022 passed around, KSI followed Sneako on Twitter, but then when Sneako's role model, Andrew Tate, started getting banned everywhere, KSI will make a mockery of it on the sites, and Sneako will call out some of the hypocrisy on KSI's part, and it will lead to the two of them having consistent back and forth with each other on social media, with JJ eventually having a laugh about Sneako's YouTube termination. And now when you look back at Sneako's announcement of KSI following him, with this attached picture of them from 2014, and now comes off as bizarre. And still kind of staying on that topic with KSI, just recently he was going to have a boxing match with the MMA fighter Dillon Danis, who is a very good friend of Conor McGregor's. And when the lead up to the KSI versus Dillon Danis fight was taking place, Conor on Twitter got asked if he was still friends with Danis, to which he said yeah. And then KSI decided to reply to the tweet, taking a jab at Dillon here. Conor responded to that by calling KSI a friendly little nerd, and that Dillon should be back doing MMA if he is doing that little quote-unquote nothing burger match with him. Well, first off here, I guess that tweet aged well because the KSI and Dillon Danis fight didn't end up happening. But where this situation didn't age well for sure was that this new beef now makes this 2016 video of them collabing that much more humorous now.
I'm gonna try not to lose this one.
That's the maddest laugh I've ever had in my life, mate. Oh, you just play games all day long and...
Well, yeah, well, I mean, I do other stuff as well, but mainly known for the gaming, yeah.
Oh, and I guess this clip too.
Oh, Woodley, yeah, no. Woodley, come on, don't let me down. Don't let me down, Woodley. No!
Yeah.
No!
And from there, I guess we can now move on to the next topic for this video, which actually has to do with KSI's brother, Deji. So back a couple of years ago, when it was announced that Logan Paul was going to be fighting the Floyd Mayweather Jr., Deji decided to make a small joke about the situation, tweeting out, "So I need to just draw and lose a fight to fight Floyd Mayweather? Okay." And little did he know that in 2022, he would have an exhibition match with that same man. Deji would get stopped in the 6th round by Floyd. But looking back at the initial tweets, I guess you can see it as not aging well since he went on to fight Mayweather after making that demeaning point about Logan going up against him. But then I guess you could also see it as aging well because, well, he went up against arguably one of the all-time boxing greats on a pay-per-view event. Oh, and he also gave him a black eye. You know, no big deal. Now, something else that didn't age well was when I was doing some research for my Joji video, I came across this 2019 upload here from Billboard where Joji was telling us 10 things about himself, and one of the things that he said was this.
If someone were to play me in a movie, it would be Ezra Miller. He just looks like a more intense, like more handsome version, so I'd probably enjoy that.
Yeah, Ezra Miller. I think most of us here know who that is. You know, that actor that played the Flash in the DCEU movies, and well, had several controversial headlines take place last year as well. Yeah, something's telling me that Ezra won't be the first person to be casted for a Joji movie anymore, if it were to ever take place. And another time that something didn't age well for a YouTuber was for this guy right here, Boyinaband. Boyinaband had become popular for his content in making music, and also having well-known collaborative efforts with a couple of top YouTubers like The Odd Ones Out, Jaden Animations, iDubbbz, and even Pewdiepie. Boyinaband had a decently nice reputation up until 2022 rolled around, when his name got embroiled in controversy as he got accused of several different things by his young fans and ex-girlfriends. Things like physical and mental abuse, grooming, EDP 445 philia, that sort of stuff. Boyinaband has not said anything to refute the claims that were made last year. In fact, he hasn't even been active on social media since 2021, and where things get a bit eerie here is when you look back at his most popular video, Don't Stay in School. This line almost has an entirely different meaning now.
I was never taught what laws there are. I was never taught what laws there are. Let me repeat, I was not taught the laws for the country I live in.
Yeah, that whole line became a meme now, but also this other line from his collab with Pewdiepie didn't really age that well either.
But never mind the poor people, we just hit a party. Just hit a pop some bottles with a 9-year-old on me.
Oh, and one more line can be brought up here as well. This time from the diss track that he helped iDubbbz make on Rice Gum. Only in this case, one of iDubbbz' lines at Rice will be the thing that didn't age well here for Boyinaband.
You're fucking delusional, so try your best to remember. You're not a pimp, you're a borderline sex offender.
But moving on from all of that, 2022 wasn't all that bad in how some things aged. Like for example, we have this picture here of Jake Paul, his brother Logan, and the at the time active UFC/MMA fighter Anderson Silva. And anybody here that knows anything about the fights that took place in the YouTube/crossover boxing scene in 2022 know that Jake went head to head with that man right there in October of that year. And not only did Jake just have a boxing match with the Anderson Silva, but he ended up defeating him by unanimous decision. And now when one looks back at that picture, it sort of gives that moments before disaster type of vibe where Silva didn't know what was going to be coming to him over a decade later. Next up that we got here has to do with iShowSpeed, and as a lot of you know, he was one of the fastest growing YouTubers on the site in 2022, going from a couple of million subscribers at the beginning of the year to now having over 15 million. And with someone blowing up like that and now becoming a household name in the YouTube scene, it's always interesting to look back at the beginning of their careers to see how they started out. And in this case, when you look back at Speed's first stream, you can see that he was already ambitious from the get-go in front of his 2 concurrent viewers.
I swear to God, bro, I can't wait till I get famous on YouTube. I just cannot wait, bro.
And then you can also say that this other moment from one of his Q&A videos before he blew up had also aged well.
Okay, now the first question is asked. If YouTube does not work out for you, what am I going to do in life? If YouTube does not work out for me, man, I'm going to just go back to being a regular kid, bro. You feel me, you know? Being a regular kid, wake up, you know, watch some little shows and, you know, go to school and just be a regular life. I won't do shit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
And now Speed stands at over 15 million subscribers with millions of followers across his social medias and streams to tens of thousands and sometimes even hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube at a consistent basis. And someone else that had also made it, and everybody here knows who he is MrBeast. In 2022, he had finally hit the incredible milestone of 100 million subscribers. And not only did that, but later on also surpassed his own longtime hero Pewdiepie in subs. Now the moment that I want to bring up that age well here was when MrBeast went on the Impulsive podcast for the first time in 2019. He was already known as this rapidly growing YouTuber with about 15 million subscribers. And when the hand-in-hand topic of PewDiePie and subs was brought up, and at the time inconceivable scenario was discussed where this was said.
Admit you want to beat PewDiePie.
At what? In likes?
I believe you want to have more subscribers than PewDiePie.
Yeah, but I want to be at the top. I don't know if I want to pass him. Like,
don't like co-leadership. Two kings.
I want to be a top tier YouTuber, but you know, like, dude, we're talking like that's like a decade down the road. Who the hell knows?
I don't know.
He might quit YouTube by then.
Wait, a decade down the road. But MrBeast managed to actually achieve that just about 3.5 years later on November of 2022. And well, now there's really nothing much more to do for MrBeast besides just keep going. Though he has hinted at taking over the former Common Enemy T-Series in subscribers to avenge feuds. And with the current rate of subscriber growth that MrBeast is doing right now, it could be possible. So there is that to look forward to. And with that, I'll end off the video there. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you in another one.